Hi guys, welcome to another beer review. Today we're going over to Switzerland for what I believe is the first time, especially when it comes to Swiss craft beer. I could be wrong about that. I could have completely forgotten beers that I have reviewed from Switzerland, but as far as I know, this is the first one that I will be covering. I bought this from Bier Deluxe as part of an order, thanks to my good friend here on YouTube, Graham, over at Hapless Ginger Brew. So today we're going to the Doppelleu Brauwerkstatt brewery, and we are looking at the Oakwood Red Ale, which is clocking in, I think, at a 6.5. Of course, the recycled sticker that was stuck on the label, because you can't just stick it on the back of the bottle, it seems to have ripped the actual ABV off, and I was looking it up prior to reviewing this one and I've completely forgotten. I drink like a goldfish and I've also got the memory of a goldfish. So yeah, Oakwood Red Ale, which is, like it says on the bottle, it's a red ale which I think has been aged in toasted oak, at least in like toasted oak chips, but I think it has been aged in a toasted oak barrel. So yeah, fantastic looking beer. I love the simplicity of it. You get pretty much all the information on the really nice label on the neck, which is unfortunately all tatty, or else I would have kept that. And yeah, just look at that imagery on the glass, screen printed, I believe, onto the glass. And yeah, it looks fantastic. And when you see all of the range that they've got, they're all simple. You know, you've got a nice array of looking beers there. A nice array of looking beers. A nice array of nice looking beers there. So, yeah, when you flip off the label, just a plain silver crown. So, anyway, without any further ado, let's get this beer opened and see what we get. Nice amount of smoke coming out there. Ooh. So sweet and desserty already coming off that neck. Let's pour it in and see what we get. So, because the lighting is always terrible in these video beer reviews, I've got my old phone. And when you, well, actually, hold up to that light. Yeah, pretty much in direct light, a ruby red beer. You can slightly see through it, but not too much. It's not a really crystal clear beer, but nice amounts of carbonation. You probably heard an odd giggle outside then. Yeah, it looks like a really nice ruby red ale, and beer poured with about one finger's worth of a slightly tan coloured head. So yeah, looks really nice. Keep saying that for every friggin' beer that I review. Let's see what it smells like. Not as sweet as it was when I initially opened it, smelling that neck of the bottle. But you do get that sort of like cakey, spiced cake mix sort of aroma from it. Not too sweet. Like really nice, sort of slightly oaty aroma to it as well. It's got this slight butteriness when you're actually like about to fry something in butter and you're letting that butter melt. Definitely get that wood. It's like a damp wood. But those hops are coming through as well. It's not a really hoppy beer, but it's a little bit more hoppier than I was expecting it to be honest. But I'm not saying that it's a bad smelling beer, because that is really quite nice. It's got this lovely, like, matured subtleness about it. A little bit of vanilla, almost like spicy savoury tone in there as well. And the more I'm smelling it now, that oak is coming through really, really nicely. Almost has a sort of bourbon-like quality to it. And then you get like dates, those sorts of berries, like really chunky berries that have been absorbing alcohol. Yeah, it smells good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys. Oh yeah, that wood is coming through a lot more on the flavour. Really, really nice. It's got this slight smokiness about it, almost like charred. Not harsh, but it tickles on the back of your throat when you take it. And I'm immature, I know. But yeah, surprisingly light body to it. Not watery, by far a watery beer, but it's got really nice crispness to it. On the lower end of medium, I'd say. Really nice and satisfying. That carbonation comes through really, really nicely. Disperses that beer around your palate perfectly. And doesn't leave it too watery on the back end either. I'm getting nutmeg, ginger, cinnamon, those sorts of spices, a little bit of clove in there. Slight burnt toffee in there. Again, that almost, not a cake mix, but a nice, really spiced rum cake, Jamaican rum cake sort of vibe from this one. And you get, it's not an alcohol flavour in the way that, oh, it's been masked terribly, but it's got this alcohol flavour coming from, I'm guessing, that barrel. I'm not sure if the barrels were used for something else prior to this, but I can't shake the imagery of a nice, robust bourbon character in there. And it works really, really well. It complements all those other flavours. Lovely hot bitterness mixed in there as well, which is nice and delicate. It's delicate but robust at the same time. You can look for flavours and pick them out. But yeah, it's amazing how, with all that being said, how drinkable this beer actually is. Lovely stuff. Really, really is. Very nicely surprised with this one. It's like sweetie smokiness. Yeah, I really, really like that. It does exactly what it says on the label. Oak wood red ale. You get all those characteristics. It's what you expect with a red ale in the first place. But yeah, you get all these lovely flavours coming into play. And it's that woodiness that I'm really, really liking. I'll have to do a little bit more research onto this one, because I'd like to know where the oak has come in, if it is in chips or if it has been aged in a barrel, and if so, what barrel was used. Was it from a distillery? Was it brought overseas from like America or something like that? Yeah, I really, 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 really like that. And red ales for me, they can be really quite dull, especially when I'm back in the UK and you have something from like one of the bigger real ale breweries and you have a red ale. They just seem to all blend in together. You can't really pick out too much differently from one to the other. But this, that woody, oaky element, is just adding such a lovely level of flavour and maturity to that beer. But it still maintains this slight sweet yet vibrant sort of thing to it. It's really, really nice. Much more educated palates than mine would be able to pick up a hell of a lot more. But for me, and where my palate is right now, I can't really fault this too much. Is it a perfect beer? No. I've never really been the biggest fan of red ales in the first place, but I wanted to try something that at least sounds a little bit intriguing with the style. And yeah, very, very satisfied with this beer. So in terms of a rating, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. Really, really nice. And if you ever come across it, do yourself a favour, pick it up and give it a try, because if you like your red ales, but you want something a little bit different, you want a little bit more character to it, then this is fantastic for that. Try it if you haven't done so already, and if you have, let me know your thoughts and opinions. What's some other of your favourite Swiss beers out there? And talking of Swiss beer, you know, not necessarily Swiss cheese, but you know, if you had a cheese board with a bit of rye bread, big 750ml bottle of this, get a couple of mates round, you know, you've got a nice little evening there. So yeah, check out the brewery down below. Check out Bier Deluxe and check out Graham, of course. Check out my other Red Ale playlist if I've actually got one. And more importantly, I hope you'll join me next time for another beer review. So thank you guys for watching, and I shall hopefully see you later. Cheers, guys.